Every day is something different, right, with these bodies. Every day is different. Okay, very nice. And then let's bend the knees. Place the soles of your feet to the width of your mat. And just allow your knees to drop in towards each other. Take another full breath there. And then we'll move into a thigh stretch. So let your knees drop to the right. And stretch long through that left thigh bone. And just feel all what's going on in there. Especially if you've been sitting a lot, this is going to feel really good. Good. Let's go back up to the center and then drop to the other side. And then let's take that into a little flow, just a little movement. So inhaling as you come back through center and drop your knees as you exhale to the other side. And then go ahead and go on your own and just synchronize your breath to the movement if you can. Nice dance between the two. And then I think a nice thing to do today would be to do some shoulder stuff, some sundial. We haven't done that in a while. So I'm going to have you just roll onto your right side and then tuck your elbow, your arm underneath your ear so you have a nice support. And then the one thing, I want to make sure your knees are 90-degree angle with your hips so you have a nice L shape and that'll be supported. Take your left hand and reach it out in front of you, as far out as you can, keeping your arms straight. And bring your fingertips onto the floor. Okay, and then you're just going to start to draw a circle above your head. So stay onto the floor with your fingers and just start to go up above your head. And then let your arm open out, all the way out into a twist, and reach long, all the way out to the left. And then complete the circle, come back onto your side, and then do it again. So I want to make sure that you're really taking advantage of the twist. Get that shoulder all the way back and look towards the fingertips. And just doing the best you can. This is a natural range of motion and very, very good to open up the neck and the shoulders. If anything hurts, maybe you bend your elbow and maybe you don't go for the full circle. So just, pay attention to what your body's telling you. And we'll do about 3 more. Make sure you're breathing. Good, and then hopefully you're ready to finish up that. And let's take now both hands out in front of you. So if you want to take a little peek at me, my hands are reaching out in front of me, palms together. Your head's going to lift up just a little bit and then stretch beyond your fingertips so you feel that nice protraction of the shoulder. And then you're going to reach up towards the ceiling, all the way up and all the way out as you look towards the thumb. Try to land your shoulder, land the hand down into the twist. And then just reach back up again towards the ceiling and all the way back towards the hand. And then start your in-breath as you reach beyond the fingers. Inhale as you reach up and open. Full inhale, full movement. Exhale, back up, and bring the hands back together. So that's the movement, and go ahead and go on your own. It's a really nice way to wring out the spine, the digestive system, and also to warm up your lungs. Get the breath really involved here. In fact, the breath is the priority, so focus more on that. Good, and this last one, we're going to hang out in the twist for just a couple breaths. So let the arm just open out and breathe and relax. Good, and then we'll just make your way onto your back and hug your knees into your chest. And then we'll do some frog circles. Let the knees drop out and around and back together. And I'm just remembering the first time I did sundial and this type of movement was in Florida when I was visiting my father. And it was one of the best classes that I've ever taken. It was so nourishing. So we're bringing in a little bit of that today. Okay, and then let's drop over to the other side. So I'm just gonna flip around so I stay facing you. And then just tucking that bottom arm underneath you and stretch your arm out in front of you. And make sure your knees are in a 90-degree angle, and then just start drawing that circle above your head and all the way out. Remembering to take advantage of that complete circle. Inhaling and exhaling nice and smooth. So nice. Definitely different on this side, right? So just notice the differences that you feel. And the noises that you hear. And my shoulder's really clunky on this side. Okay, about 2 more. Just take your time. Enjoy it. All right, and then we'll set up for the twisting movement. So bring the palms together. Your head's gonna lift up a little bit so that you can reach beyond your fingertips. And then as you inhale, you'll reach up, let the head drop back and open all the way out into the twist. And then exhale back to the first position. So go ahead and go on your own. And let's take one more round, and we will all meet into the twist. And just pausing there and breathing and relaxing what you can. All right, and then let's make our way back onto your back. And then we'll set up for some circles in our joints in our lower body. So let's draw the right knee in and just squeeze gently into the right hip and start to circle the right ankle. So just the ankle. Our bodies love the circular movements. They really help to nourish the joints and to heal whatever's going on in there. Make sure you go both directions a few times. And then we'll relax the ankle. Just let it hang there. And then squeeze into the right hip and start circling now in the right hip. And you can always keep this really small and more of a conservative movement, or you can explore wider range by drawing the knee all the way out and around. Just see how that feels. And take into consideration what you're bringing to your practice today. And adjust. And go the other direction. Good, and then we'll squeeze down, create a nice little tourniquet in that right hip. And then let's take our straps into a lasso it, and loop it around the right instep of your right foot. I'm gonna not use a strap today. I'm gonna reach up from my big toe with my 2 fingers. But that's just because my legs are short. So if you have really long legs, a strap is going to be really nice for you. Or if you're just tight, you know, it's just nice to use the strap. Relax those shoulders back and down and bring your chin slightly down. And if you do need a little pillow or blanket to support your head, I highly recommend, so you keep some neutrality in the upper body. And we'll just hang out here, firm the legs, flex your feet, and breathe. And staying here, we're going to bring in a little bit of movement. So start to draw your toes towards the back of your head. And then let the leg release a little in front of you and bring it back again. So you're just moving the leg forward a little bit and back, forward and back. Yeah, we're going to use this very gentle movement to really help to soften the tight tissue. It's really a nice way to practice. Let's do one more. And then holding on to the strap, and we'll take the strap all the way, the leg all the way out to the right, and the left arm all the way out to the left. Remember to feel your legs as if you're standing on them, especially the left one. Yeah, flex the toes, that's going to keep you nice and anchored. Allow your mind just to settle down. Hi, Shaila. Hi. Hello. All right, and then we'll inhale, bring the leg back up, and then exhale over the dog. Take your hand, the strap into the opposite hand, and then start to go into your twist. Take your time there. And then here's another variation that you could do here. Bring in that movement. Pull up on the leg a little bit and let it release. Pull up and let it release. And you'll notice that it goes all around that hip. All around the hip. So enjoy that. Shaila now wants to play, of course. Oh, Shaila. And then let's come back up on the inhale. Good. Release the strap. Squeeze that right knee back into your chest for just a moment. transition into figure 4. Take your left foot to the floor, cross the right ankle right over that left knee. Flex your foot. And then make sure the low back is flat. So flatten out the low back and then take your right hand to your right knee and press it away from you. That actually is a really nice stretch in the front of the hip and thigh. Okay, and then let's go ahead and interlace the hands right in between the legs beyond your left thigh or shin, if that's better for you. Yeah, so this is pretty tight for me today. Whew. Take some exhales through your mouth. And we'll stay here just one more breath. And then let's do a half happy baby. So take your left foot back to the mat and then flex your right foot up towards the ceiling. And you guys, you know, you could use a strap here. It's actually a really nice way to get into this. You could use a strap or you could stirrup grip the foot with your hands and pull the thigh all the way down alongside the ribs, avoiding the rib cage. So just put it all the way out to the side. And I like to bend up my left knee. That's actually kind of more accessible for me. But you can play with it. You could extend the leg long or keep it bent. Shaila, Shaila, come here. All right, good. And then take both legs up towards the ceiling. Circle out your ankles. Point and flex your feet. And then let's take the left knee now. Interlace the fingers below the left knee. Extend the right leg all the way down. And just circling the ankle. Make sure you go both directions. Boy, Shaila's really wanting to play right now, you guys. Sorry. And then relax the ankle and move into the hip. Shaila, go bug Stevie. This is real life, you guys. And make sure you go the other direction. Big difference from right to left. And then squeeze down into the hip here. Take your strap. And lasso it around your instep. And go for your hamstring stretch. Sit. And then you could bring in that movement if you want, forward and back, forward and back. She's good. And then holding there. God, it's like having a 2-year-old around here right now. And then we'll take that leg all the way out to the side, reach the right arm out long, flex your right foot and your left foot. And steady that breath. and then switch the strap into the right hand as you start to cross the body. Go slow. This one can be pretty sharp. And then you can start to pull up on the strap if that feels good for you. Just create that little movement, kind of like a flossing. Let's take one more breath. Try to relax. And then on your next inhale, bring the leg back up. And then we'll transition into figure 4. So release the strap and cross the left ankle over the right knee. Small of your back is flat, and then press the knee and thigh away from you. And breathe. Good, and then we'll transition into thread the needle, interlace beyond your right thigh or shin. And then just go ahead and take a little movement if you want, side to side. Let's all take an inhale through the nose, nice and long and deep. And open the mouth and just take a nice honest sigh. Just relaxing, softening. Very good. Release the right foot to the floor and stirrup grip the foot or use your strap for half happy baby. Remember to avoid the rib cage. Very nice. And then we'll release both legs out in front of you. And let's give ourselves a big stretch like you do first thing in the morning in bed. Stretch long from toes to fingers. And then let's hug both knees in. And this time, get into a tight little ball. So you might be able to reach for opposite elbows. But if that's not accessible, the forearms or the wrist is great. Just whatever you can get. And then lift your head up towards the knees and pull everything really tight. Okay, stay here and let the head drop back, but keep the pressure on the abdomen. Try to lower the low back, the sacrum. See if you can get it flatter. And keep squeezing into the body. This is actually stimulating the transverse colon, stretching the low back. And then let's release that, roll onto the side, and then come all the way up into tabletop, hands and knees around here. You can cushion those knees up if you need a little extra cushion. I'm gonna do that. My knees are a little sore right now. Okay, hands and knees. And then let's start to circle the hips around. So again, we're back to those nice circles. And take your time, really enjoy. And then go the other direction. You might hear and feel things adjusting, a little cracking. Nice. And then let's come back into that neutral spine. Place the hands directly underneath your shoulders and seal the inner edges of the hands as well as the outer. So you have good integrity with your hands. As you inhale, lift up across your chest. So arch the back, the spine, look up. Feel that nice stretch in the whole front body. And then as you exhale, push the floor away, round the spine, let your neck be long. And then taking that into a flow. So inhaling into cow. Take the full breath to get there. And exhale into cat. Empty out. Take that on your own. And nice and slow. Nice slow cadence. Cat-cows are really lovely for the spine. It really helps to move the lymph too throughout the spine. Moving blood and synovial fluid. All the things we need to stay supple. You know, they say you're only as old as your spine. Let's take one more round. And then come back into neutral. Bring your knees all the way together. Curl the toes under. And just push the hips back and forth towards your wrist, towards the heels, towards your wrist, towards the heels. And just take that pumping action a couple more times. And then stay with the toes curled under. And walk your hands in a little bit closer to your knees. And then I'm going to have you flip the wrist. So see if you can turn your hands all the way around. This is a little bit different than we normally do. And start to walk your hands a little bit further away from your knees so you're not so close. And now push back towards the heels with your hips and allow the wrist to lift a little bit. It's a little stronger. And then come forward and back. So taking that movement again, forward and back. And obviously if you have a broken toe, you're not going to have your toes curled under. I know Teresa's dealing with a broken toe. Hopefully that's getting better. And then let's go ahead and release that. Turn the hands back around, uncurl the toes, give them a little tap out. And then bring your hips back towards your heels. So now you're stretching the tops of your feet and the ankles. And you can stay with your hands forward like I am. You can also use a block underneath your seat. You know, make it accessible for you. And I love this little rocking movement, just really getting into all the little intricacies in the ankles. Okay, nice. And then we're going to lift the hips up and walk your hands way forward, so more towards the corners of your mat for puppy or Anahata Asana. Let the heart just melt down, armpits also melt down. Forehead can find the mat or the chin can come forward. But take care of your neck. Make sure you're not crunching. What you're really trying to get is more opening in the ribs, the intercostal muscles, getting the armpits to come down. This is a very sticky part of our body. So really enjoy this. Take about 3 more breaths here. And then we'll follow this with another cat pose. So bring the hands back under the shoulders. round the spine. And then come back to neutral. Okay, so another little variation for the wrist. Turn the hands in now, fingers to face in. And move the hips back and forth. Back and forth. Good, one more time. And then now turn the hands out to the side about 45 degrees and then go back and forth again. So just different angles, different angles. Okay, nice. And then let's find our Vajrasana, sitting on your heels or a block or two. And then we are just gonna circle out the wrists now. Nice, steady, gentle, and very aware. And really pay attention to what's going on in each wrist. And make sure you go the other direction. Okay, shake out the hands and then interlace the hands. Interlace them like this. And then just do these figure eights with the wrists. This actually feels really good. And it's very effective. Any kind of wrist issues, this is great. And then again, we're gonna shake out the hands. Oh, good. Okay, let's come into your first down dog, just nice and gently. Curl the toes under, spread your hands, and then lift the hips. You can always bend the knees here. Whatever you need. Just take a few moments to enjoy that full body stretch. And then let's walk the hands all the way back towards the feet. Take your time and make sure the feet are about hip distance apart. And I want to really, offer you all to bend your knees. There's no need to keep your legs straight. You can bend the knees and allow some space. Relax your upper body. And then give your head a little nod, yes, and a little gentle no. Just shake it out a little bit. And then bring the hands on your hips. Wrap your elbows back towards each other. Press down through the feet and rise with a nice flat back and strong legs. And here we are, standing. So Tadasana. Open the palms to face forward. Looking forward. Soften your gaze though. Soften the eyes. Relax the shoulders. And take a full centering breath. And then inhale, stretch the arms up towards the ceiling like you're moving through thick liquid. Reach up. Grab a hold of your right wrist. Okay, so listen here. I'm going to face you. I want you to bend your elbows a lot and bring the arm bones back. So to be less concerned with straightening. Okay, just keep the arm bones back. And then lift up and over. So you have a nice bend in your elbows, but you're not sinking forward and not crunching into your neck. This is a really nice way to take a side bend, especially if your shoulders and neck are cranky. So elbows back and then stretch over again one more time. And then we'll do that on the other side. So coming up, grab a hold of your wrist, but bend your elbows, pull the arms back, lift up out of the waist, and then stretch up and over. You still have that imaginary beach ball right underneath you here, so you're lifting up and over it. No collapsing. And then come back up through center, take the arms down and behind you, interlace the hands, open up the chest, the shoulders stretch back, look up, open the chest. And then I love this one here. I'm gonna have you release the interlaced hands, but reach for your right elbow with your left hand, so it's like that. Okay? And then flip your palm up. What did I say, right? I'm grabbing, yeah, whichever. Okay, so you're like this, yeah. And then just drop your ear towards the shoulder that the hand is floating up. I forgot what I said, right or left, but you get the idea. And you're really gonna feel a nice stretch in the side part of your neck here. On the left side, yeah, I got it now. Left side of your neck. And then you know what's really nice to do is to let your chin come forward so you stretch more towards the back of your neck. And then let the head press back so it goes more towards the front. And then doing that a couple times. It's a nice stretch, right? And then let's come back up. We'll interlace the hands again one more time. Open the chest. Straighten up the arms the best you can. And then release, and now we'll grab towards the right elbow and let the right palm flip up. Or maybe it's the left. Did I do that again? Did I screw up again? Sorry. You guys got it. Okay, good. No, I think that's right. Yeah. And then drop your right ear to your right shoulder. And then just letting the head press back and forth. It's like this nice massage you're giving yourself. I'm definitely a little discombobulated, you guys, because my daughter's here and it's birthday celebration, so I got a lot on my mind. I'm sorry if I screw up rights and lefts. Feels so good in the neck. Oh, okay, go ahead and release that. Let the arms drop and just kind of give them a little shake. And then let's place the fingers in front of the shoulders and thumbs behind. We have to do this one. Bring your elbows together. Inhale up and exhale all the way back and down. It's such a nice way to take care of the shoulders. Inhale and exhale. And you're making as big of a circle as you possibly can without losing connection with your shoulders and fingers. And then let's reverse it. Go the other way. Very good. Now stay hold of the fingers and shoulders. Keep that connection. Bring your elbows wide. Okay, and then we're just going to do this. Right and left. Right and left. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. And just try to keep your legs strong. And just move the torso, just the ribs, the upper body. It is a little bit of a sharper breath. Inhale. And a little faster pace. So just take your time getting used to the movement. And we just have about 10 more seconds. This is really nice to unlock the mid-back. And really good to increase your digestive strength. 3, 2, and 1. Good. Relax the arms. Give them a little shake. And then watch me first so you don't get this wrong. I want you to take care of your back. So we're gonna inhale here and just watch me. Bend your knees, exhale through the mouth. And then inhale, back up, straight legs and arms. Bend your knees, exhale through the mouth. Inhale, full lungs. Exhale, bend and let it go. Okay, one more time. Use your breath. Good. Then inhale up. Take a little back bend there. And then exhale, hands to the heart center. Just take a moment to reconnect to your breath and your energy. And then if you're not already, step up to the top of your mat. And then let's inhale, lift the arms up, take a nice little Hasta Uttanasana, stretch up, look up, bend your knees, exhale, come all the way down into your forward folds. And then inhale, bring the hands to the front of your shins, reach the chest forward, nice long neck here. And then exhale, folding back in again. Let's do that one more time. Reach out and up on the inhale. Come all the way up, look up, reach up. Hands to the heart, exhale. Circle the arms, inhale, out and up. Exhale, come all the way down into your forward fold, Uttanasana. Halfway on the inhale. And then exhale, we have plank pose. So step back to plank. If you're having any wrist issues, just come down to the forearms. It's actually a lot more challenging. Makes you work more muscles in the forearms, but it might not be a choice for you. Okay, so make your adjustments. And then just holding your own body weight like this is amazing. I'll hold here for about 5 breaths. Feel free to always place the knees down if you need it. You're already almost there. Building strength on the entire body, really. This is so good. One more breath. And then take the knees down and very gently lower yourself all the way to your belly and come into Sphinx pose. Nice gentle back bend. But I'm gonna have you look at your elbows, okay? And bring your elbows a little bit further out in front of you. And now lift your chest, lift your ribs, and stretch back through your toes. You don't want your neck to be in the tortoise shell here, so you want to really lift the head up out of the shell. Shoulders drop back and down. It is amazing how the smallest little movements in your practice make a very big difference. Just by moving the elbows a little bit in a different place changes everything. So explore that for a moment. And then we'll take some wide cobra flow. So come all the way down onto the belly, pop up onto your fingertips on the outside of your mat, elbows high like grasshoppers. So you want your fingers to be off your mat, so you're pretty wide, you're open across your chest here. And then use your pelvis to press down, use your feet to press down, and then inhale, peel the chest up, keep your shoulders back and down, and just take a little look over the right shoulder. And then exhale all the way back down again. Good, then inhale as you come up, use your back strength and leg strength, and look over the left shoulder. And then exhale, lower down. Good, we're gonna do one more. Straight down the middle, inhale. Make sure the neck is long. Doesn't matter how far you come up. And then exhale, lower down. Good, slide your hands under the shoulders. Come on back to child's pose. And if you want, you can let the arms just drape alongside your body. Let the shoulders roll forward. Maybe you roll across the forehead. Yeah, just make that nice. Breathe. So nice to take this time, you know, it really just, it's an attitude adjustment. It really is. And then if your arms are back alongside your body, start to stretch them forward. And then we'll come up into tabletop, hands and knees. Okay, we're gonna work into our legs a little bit here. Stretch the right leg back, lift it up in line with your spine, toes facing down. And then let your toes face out to the right. So just rotate your hip out. Keep your leg nice and strong. Shift it back down and twist towards your left elbow. So bring your knee towards the left elbow. Good. Inhale, straight back and open. Exhale, roll it down and twist. Good. Keep that going on your own. Just a couple more. And this is actually toning the sciatic nerve. This is really good for taking care of that giant nerve that runs from the back all the way down the leg. Let's do one more. And then reach back, leg back, lift your chest, and then bring your knee towards the nose, round the spine as you exhale. Inhale, straight back, lift your chest. Exhale, round in. And just one more. And then this time, step your foot forward all the way in between your hands and come into a nice low lunge here. And so we're going to work with the different angles, stretching the hips. You may want to bring your blocks in for this, but we're going to cinch in a little bit, so shorten up your stride and then just come up. So you have a little shorter stance here. Your left thigh bone should be right underneath your hip and not in front of. So you want to be this short. Okay, so then all I'm going to do is I'm going to lean back a little bit, and then I'm going to come forward towards that right heel with my hips, not so much the chest, and then come back and come forward. And then just keep doing that a few more times. This is the first angle that we're working with, and we'll do 2 more angles. Okay, one more time. Coming forward and back. And then stay forward so that you can adjust your foot. Now you're going to bring your foot at about a 45-degree angle, kind of out to the corner of your mat, and then stand back up again. So I'm a little bit shifted out. And then same thing, I'm going to lean back just a little bit, and then lead with your hips, not the chest, the hips. Come forward towards the heel and back. Yeah, you notice I have a cushion underneath my knee. Maybe you decided to do that too. So just taking a couple more of these. And then standing up. Now take your foot and bring it now all the way out to the right. So your toes are facing out to the right. Your heel is in line with your left knee. So make that so. And then same thing. This is a little bit more intense, so go slow. You're going to shift and lean towards the right heel. Make sure the knee, Shaila, make sure the knee doesn't cave to the big toe. And then come back. Make sure the knee is tracking over the center of your foot. That's important. So just see how that feels. This one can be really interesting. Yeah, one more time. Yeah, that's awesome, huh? Now bring your foot all the way back forward again. Take your blocks and then just come down into that low lunge. Shift around a little bit. And then we'll follow this one with a half split. So pull your toes back. And a little more work for the sciatic. Just roll to the inner and the outer heel a few times. This feels so good. A little IT band work. breaths. Just come forward with your hips. Curl your back toes under, lift up the thigh. And then just spin your back heel down and come into warrior two on this side. Let the arms open up wide. Check out your knee. Make sure it's in a good placement. And then just bend into the knee and then straighten. Bend and straighten a couple times. Feeling that density, that heaviness into the legs. That's your support. And then let's find that warrior two. Hold here. Open the chest. Flip the right palm up and then just reach up and back into this nice reverse warrior. Maybe you sink a little more into that right hip. Good. And then straighten up the legs, arms nice and wide, and lengthen out over that leg. Keep your leg active, foot flat. Take your hand down wherever it goes, top arm up at 12 o'clock, or stretch it long over the ear. Good. Use your strong legs and inhale, come up and go into a reverse Trikonasana with straight legs. Reach back. That one feels really good. Okay, go back to warrior two. Cartwheel the arms all the way down. And then roll up onto the back, left toes as you take your right arm up into a twist. Release, and then take your back foot, step it up a little bit so you shorten your stance. Blocks are great here for pyramid. So that right leg does not have to go straight. I am more concerned with the length of your spine. So bend your knee as much as you need to get a nice long spine. You could take your hand to your sacrum and kind of check it out. Could you place a little teacup there and not spill your tea? That's what you want, nice flat surface. I'm just breathing here for about 3 breaths, folding down if it feels right for you, or staying lifted. I'm going to give you plenty of time to allow your body to adapt to the shape. You didn't get this tight overnight. So it does take a little time to unwind. Just let it happen. Let your breath be steady. And then we'll take a giant step forward. So bend your front knee and then just step all the way up to the top of your mat. Feet together. And then just lift the heels and come into a squat. So lifting the heels, rolling up onto the toes if that feels okay. Maybe pressing down into the heels to get a nice calf stretch. Yeah, and then rolling up onto the toes. And just take that a few times if it feels okay for you. Pressing and lifting. Taking care of our feet. Good, and then we'll just go ahead and lift your hips. Take your feet out the width of your, the width of your hips. Bend your knees and then just fold down. You can reach for opposite elbows here, swaying. And then we'll step back into plank pose again. And you can do this on the forearms. And then holding for just about 5 breaths. Good. One more breath. And then take those knees down and And lower yourself again all the way down to your belly. And let's inhale into a little baby cobra. So slide the hands back a little bit. Elbows wrap in and just peel the chest up. Okay, stay there and hover the hands. Take your hands up off the mat. Hold there. So good to improve your posture, building strength in your spine. And then release. Good. Back into child's pose. And from child's pose, we'll take a side stretch. So walk your hands over to the right and reach the left arm long. And then let's take that side stretch on the other side. Reaching through the right arm now. Good, and then coming back through center. And let's take tabletop. And then we have all that on the other side. So cushion up the knees if you need to. Take your time. Get nice and stable through your tabletop. And then start to draw your left leg back, toes facing down, and flex your foot. I want a good solid leg. Now open up the hips and the toes. Yep. And then roll it back down and twist to the right elbow. Inhale, straight back and open. Exhale, roll it down and twist. Inhale and exhale. So go ahead and find your own dance. And then straight back, toes facing down, lift your chest. Exhale, knee to the nose, round the spine. Inhale back and lift. Exhale in. And one more time. And bring it in and then step it through. Low lunge. And you may want to cushion the knee. Having some blanket problems. Okay, let the hips come down. Oh, that feels good. All right, and then we'll shorten up the stride. So we're going to bring the legs a little closer together so you have room to move forward and back. Okay, so I'll give you just a moment to get this set. The blocks, okay? And then you can bring your hands on your hips, nice for stability. And then just start to come forward towards that left heel and then back towards the right knee. Forward and back, and go slow. It's harder than it looks. And it's really working with the fascial tissue around the thighs and the hips. Okay, we're going to do one more in this angle. Good. And then go ahead and take your foot and bring it out 45 degree. The knee, you guys, still tracks over the center of your foot, so make sure that doesn't change. Come forward and back. There's a slight tendency when we're tight to lead with the head and the chest. So just be cognizant of that and lead with your pelvis. Forward and back. Two more. This is one of those sneaker uppers, you guys. You'll feel this tomorrow for sure. And then let's bring the leg out to the side. Okay, toes facing directly out and heel and knee aligned. Your right hip doesn't really change, okay? You're just moving into the left hip and back. This goes into the inner thighs a lot more into the growing muscle. I love this work though. This is great for the range of motion that we want to maintain. Okay, Last two. I'm feeling this one on this side. Last one. And then very carefully walk your foot back. So working your balance too. Come forward into that low lunge for a moment and grab your blocks. And then we'll go back into that half split, flex your toes. And then start to go to inner and outer heel. And what's happening to the breath? Did you lose it? It's okay. I do it too. Just come back to it. That's the practice. Flex your toes. And then come all the way through, low lunge. Curl your back toes under and lift up the thigh. Spin your back heel down and start to come into that warrior two. Okay, and then just bend and straighten. Bend and straighten. Just gently getting deeper into the hips. And then find your warrior two and hold it here with all of your strength, but also calm mind. And then we'll take that into reverse warrior. So reach up and over. It's more of a side bend, not a back bend. So be careful you're not turning it into a back bend. On your next inhale, stand straight up with your nice firm legs. Lengthen out over that leg and come into triangle pose. And whatever variation, maybe you love the side bending. I happen to really love the side stretching. Good, and then strong legs come up. And then reach back into that reverse Trikonasana. And then we'll cartwheel the arms all the way down. And you can always place your hands on blocks here. Roll up onto the ball of your back toes. And then take your left arm up for a twist. You really feel that in your outer hip, actually. Great, great stretch. And then release. And we have pyramid next, so shorten up your stride a little bit. I'm gonna move my blanket. And then try to get your back heel down. Don't let it lift. Toes turn in slightly. But always remember to bend your left knee if you're tight. Folding or staying straight. Explore it. How does it feel for you? One more breath here. Just relaxing the mind. Taking care of our nervous systems. And then bend into your front knee. And again, we'll take a giant step forward. This time, bring the feet to the width of your mat. And we'll come into Malasana squat. So either all the way down or elbows on the inside of your knees. Just to get a little bit deeper into the hips, low back. One more full breath here, maybe drawing a little more length to your spine. And very gently ease your way down to your seat. And take the soles of the feet together, Baddha Konasana. Reach up out of the waist And it's like you're trying to see your reflection in a little pond right out in front of your toes. So you want to really reach out of the waist. And then when you can't reach out anymore, then you allow your shoulders and upper back to round slightly. Oh, very nice. And then make your way back up again. And we'll take Janu Sirsasana. So extend your left leg long, right out from your hip. And bring your right foot on the inside of your inner thigh. Allow your knee just to drop out to the side. So it's like a letter L here, pretty close to that. Take your hands on either side of that extended leg. Flex your foot. And then reach up out of the waist and only come down to your own degree. Don't force this. Don't round the spine to get your forehead down further. In fact, less sometimes is more. So getting your spine nice and long first. And then just to your own degree. Some of us can hold on to the foot. Some of us have to settle for the leg somewhere. It doesn't matter. Good. And then we'll come up and take the right hand behind you for support. And if you want, you can turn this into a side stretch by lifting up your hips. Or you can open the chest and bring the arm all the way out for a little bit more of a back bend. So see what feels the best for you. Sometimes that side stretch is really nice. And then go ahead and lower back down and switch sides. Right leg out in front of you, left foot in. Wiggle around a little bit, get right on top of the sit bones, and then take your hands on either side of that leg. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's as far as you go today. If you have a little more range, you start to reach out over that leg, respecting your body's boundaries. There's no thinking. You don't have to think about anything, solve any problems right now. Just breathe. When you breathe, you can create space in your brain so that you can get clarity. Answers actually come to you when you give your mind this rest. Okay, and then coming up, take the left hand behind you, and then rolling up into the side bend or the back bend, whatever feels the best for you. Maybe you do both. Maybe you don't do either. And then settling back down. Good. Extend both legs out in front of you. Take your hands back for support and bring your fingers to face outward. And just let your legs kind of shake out a little bit. Okay, this next one is not necessarily what we love to do, but it is really good to do. So bear with me. Bring your feet down underneath your knees. With your fingers facing out to the side, just lift up the hips. Try to get your hips in line with your chest and your neck. And then just lower back down. So just moving in and out of this a couple times. Inhale. Squeeze the shoulder blades together so they become more on your back. And lower. And one more time. Up. And lower. And that's it. That's it. Take the feet now to the width of your mat. And then just like we did when we started, we did this hip rocking. So go ahead and turn the knees or drop the knees to the right. And then up and over to the left. So you're giving yourself an internal and an external rotation. Going side to side. Should feel good. It's very simple. Okay, very nice. And then let's set up for Paschimottanasana, which is hands to feet pose. Might not be hands to feet, but that's the pose. I like to use a little blanket to elevate my hips. You could do the same. Straps are great here. But I do want to point out that this pose right here, what you see me in, is actually a forward fold already. So don't be surprised if you feel a lot already. This is a great place to be. Firm your legs like you're standing on them. You want really good solid legs because this is what helps to support our spine. And just see where you are, right on top of those sit bones. If you fall behind the sit bones like this, then just take your hands and gently place them on the side of you and lift your heart up, lift your chest up. And then go from there. You start to bring your belly down towards your thighs, eventually the ribs, someday the heart, the chest, and then maybe someday, and maybe not, forehead towards your shins. But go slowly. Use the straps if that helps you. And then you're stretching the whole back line of the body here. Try not to overwork the arms and shoulders. Okay, it's like an 80-20. 80% of the legs, only 20% in the arms. Feel free to sigh. Good. And then let's come up and we'll lower ourselves down for bridge. So come on down, bend the knees, soles of the feet down. And let's just work through the low back a little bit by doing some pelvic tilting first. So just rocking the hips forward and back. You've got the natural curve and then you take the curve away, but the hips stay down. Okay, so just doing that a few times. And then press into your feet and lift the hips all the way up. Walk the shoulders closer together. You might be able to clasp the hands underneath you, and if you do, press down into the arms, lift the chest up. Lift up a little bit more here towards the end, and then release and slowly work through each vertebra. One vertebra at a time. And then we'll take happy baby pose, full happy this time. Very nice. And then let's take our block. We're winding it down. Take your block, slide it underneath your hips. Maybe you flip it onto the medium level, but I wouldn't go any higher than that. Maybe stay on the small level if that's better for you. And then just find a nice supported bridge. This is so nice. It just feels really good and supportive. You could also straighten the legs and relax there. That doesn't cause any pinching or pain. This is a nice way to give your front body a stretch. Very good. If your legs legs are straight, go ahead and rebend them. And take your legs up towards the ceiling. Let the legs just hang up there. It's a really lovely way to wind down or begin any day. It's very grounding and kind of subtly brings in a little energy, kind of clears the brain fog. What I like to do is use the block as a little massage around all the little connective tissue on the sacrum and hips, so you could start to circle the legs a little bit, like you're trying to draw a circle on the ceiling. And it just feels so good. And you can maybe hang out on the right a little bit if you find a good spot, and maybe over to the left. But explore it. If you're perfectly happy like me being here, you could stay right here for a little bit longer. Or you can lift the hips up and go in for plow pose and then into shoulder stand. So if you want that, it's definitely here for you. But I really like this right now. This is feeling really good for me. And every day you choose different. Good. Finishing up wherever you are, we'll come down for fish pose, or you can just hang out in bridge pose. Either one will be great. Okay, I'm gonna do fish. I'm just gonna lift my chest and let my head drop back. Nice long neck. And then releasing all the way down onto your back. I'm gonna give you 30 seconds or so if you want to take a twist, a final twist. You can go ahead and do another twist of your choice, or anything else that we did not do that you really want to do. But I want to give you a little personal time. And if you're ready for Shavasana, you can go ahead and just set yourself up for that resting pose. If you are ready for that resting pose, we'll go ahead and relax completely. Maybe it's helpful for you to take a couple rounds of the 1 to 2 breathing, which is just putting more focus on your exhale. Doubling the exhale. So whatever inhale you take in, you double the exhale. And through that exhale, let go of all tension that's residual. Allow yourself this time to rest. It's so important. Stay, of course, as long as you like. Enjoy. A good 5 or 10 minute Shavasana would be ideal. But I'm going to go ahead and end the class for you all, and wishing you all a really lovely weekend. Enjoy a little bit cooler weather here in the desert. Just a little bit cooler. We'll take it. But I want to just thank you all for being here. I know you have a choice, and I appreciate you choosing to be with me. And I enjoy being with you. Weinstein.